As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population, with the exception of places like New York State, where, for political reasons, the governor decided to say, and I don't think it's good politically. I think it's very bad from a health standpoint, but he wants to take his time on the vaccine. He doesn't trust where the vaccine's coming from.
Oh, my God. President Trump with those comments on Friday about withholding a coronavirus vaccine from New York State. It comes after Governor Cuomo said he planned to have a panel of experts review a vaccine rather than taking the word of the Trump administration. And Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York joins us now. I guess at some point you would even have legal action if necessary to get what you need, Governor?
Oh, Mika, that's just Trump talking. He's going to be gone. I think, frankly, we spent too much time trying to delve into the bizarre world of Trump. He doesn't like that I criticize him. He doesn't like that I stand up to him. He's a typical bully, and it bothers him. It's not me who doubts the FDA. It's 50% of the American people. Kaiser poll, Pew poll, ABC poll, CNN poll, they all say 50% of the American people don't trust the vaccine. They believe he politicized the process. New York and 6 other states have put together an independent review panel to build that trust. So when the FDA says, here's our process, we have an independent panel with a Nobel laureate that can say it was a fair process, because if people don't trust the vaccine, they're not going to take the vaccine. It's all for naught.
What do you think about the fact that, I mean, the first thing a member of Biden's coronavirus task force said to us on the show just moments ago is that the first thing they'll do is the president will enact the Defense Production Act, and he will make sure that testing and PPE and everything that is needed to be nationalized and administered uniformly and quickly is going to happen. It just boggles the mind as to why that hasn't happened so far. Does it push the envelope of actual malpractice?
The whole 4 years has been malpractice. This is a person who never said he understood government or wanted to govern. There is no governance. It was all public relations. My fear is he's making every mistake he made when COVID first started. This is just a redux. We're going to do vaccines, and because Pfizer and Moderna have a vaccine. Yeah, that's like COVID testing, if you remember back then. We're going to do COVID testing. I direct the states to do COVID testing. And then how are the states supposed to do testing? On vaccine, Mika, they have no idea what they're talking about with vaccinations. We have to do 330 million. This nation, with doing everything we did over the past 8 months, only did 120 million COVID tests. 120 million COVID tests are a lot easier than 330 million vaccines, and he's giving the states no money and no resources. And he thinks he's going to have drugstores deliver it and hospitals deliver it. I'll tell you what that's going to do. That's going to leave out the black and brown community, which the death rate among blacks is twice what it was among whites. So we're headed for another operational disaster with his plan.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.